Welcome back to Beyond Two Souls, and now we're finally putting an end to this with the special features part.
Yes.
Because this is a video game?
First, let's check out the concept art, because I generally do believe the concept art is awesome. See, I love this one, by the way.
Concept art is more often than not almost always awesome.
I've seen some concept art that is not that great, but yeah, most of the time it is.
Hence why I said overall more often than not.
So yeah, we're checking. This is the beginning of the
Hey,
game.
one of those concept art things looked like a Last of Us ripoff.
That's a frightening looking child.
So apparently Jodie could have had pigtails. Oh man, then she could have so been the new Harleen Quinn, since apparently in the new 52, Harley Quinn also has a bad parent childhood thingy going on.
Indeed.
Would have been, you know what? This actually would have been a lot cooler if it had been about Jodie going insane and being a villain. It would have made her pretentiousness and hypocrisy actually mean something to her as a character.
I agree. The thing, Jodie as a character is just a fucking plot device. Like, she doesn't really do anything.
You know what I think is a bit of a problem? David Cage should actually maybe try actually having a game where you solely play mainly as the villain. You know, maybe that could actually work for him, because you notice that a lot of his problems have to do with his supposed heroes. You know, he keeps glorifying them. I would actually like to see what his take on, you know, actually making a villain that you play as be like.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way,
oh, there you go.
audience,
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The training in the CIA was actually the army, according to Jovah.
Huh. Yeah. I'm still confused. Like, was that supposed to be an army camp or something? Or
Pretty good.
No. Supposedly she's training for the CIA, but it's more like military training than CIA training.
It's what
And here's
David
the thing
Cage thinks the CIA is like, essentially.
because, like, the CIA is more like the FBI of America. I mean, like, well, I mean, they're not exactly the police, but they're sort of like, say, a secret service, you know, kind of like the Men in Black, but, you know, not nearly as stereotypical. Basically, they sort of, like, handle national safety, but I don't think they really go through as rigorous training as the Army does.
Yep.
I mean, maybe.
No, I
mean,
highly
maybe.
doubt them.
Maybe I might actually believe it. Maybe if it were the FBI she were joining, because they probably have to do some motions. But CIA, well, come to think of it, this is apparently suggesting that the CIA also participates in giant national experiments, like making a giant ghost containment unit.
The thing
I'm pretty
is,
sure
I assume that because though all of those jobs are pretty hefty, I assume they do the same amount of training. It's just very different training.
Yeah. It's like, well, I guess CIA training would be more like police or FBI training, not army training.
Indeed. Heavy Rain.
Heavy
the
Rain?
casting.
Why are we looking at Heavy Rain?
Army
The
training-
We're not. It's because
Army training would be more full on.
I forgot. I forgot that was not a video. That was actually just a small slideshow of things that is not really worth showing off. So I went back to the concept art. Don't worry about that. It's not really worth thinking about. So yeah, this was back in the condenser chapter where the game went indigo prophecy on us, and every single object in the lab tried to kill us.
I swear, a lot of those shots give me a Last of Us vibe. It doesn't help that this game came out, I believe, the same year as Last of Us.
Yeah, this Last of Us came out the summer, and Beyond came out around Halloween time. Meanwhile,
Oh, sure. If only you'd been there for... Well, actually, you were there for part of Last of Us, but you weren't there for the part where we... Well, you know, we sort of ran into a David Cage of sorts there.
No, I mean they basically Shiro. There's a part where a certain character gets trapped by a certain other character, and it just begs for a David Cage joke.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
I know. It's like, well, you remember how the girl in Last of Us apparently looked like Ellen Page, according to Ellen Page, and she actually apparently... Did she sue Sony, or...
No. She did. She sued Sony because of Beyond, not because of Last of Us.
No.
Good. Wait, why did she say because Beyond?
Wait.
Even though it's a good...
No. You don't understand. When it came to The Last of Us, she complained to Sony about she didn't want them to. She didn't like how Ellie looked a lot like Ellen Page.
Yeah, that was it.
Because she didn't want. She wanted to either be paid for the fact that they were using her face on Last of Us, or changed it. So Naughty Dog changed it to make her more look like the actual actress, Alison Johnston. So,
Which is weird because she still kind of
What
looks like
happened
Ellen
with the
Page
suing
to
them
me.
in regards to Beyond then?
And then when it comes to Beyond, it was because of the whole naked model.
We have David Cage to thank for that.
Remember when I showed you the debug mode of Beyond Two Souls?
Oh yeah, that's right. We still have to get around to recording that.
Yeah, don't worry, Jovah. I plan on recording that, but eventually, probably this weekend. But what was I going to do?
Yeah, there was a debug mode that actually gave us a
basically the debug mode allows you to just activate a free camera that can just look at everything. So while Ellen Page is taking a shower, you can use the free camera to look at Ellen Page fully naked. So they actually made a full-blown nude model for Jodie, and Ellen Page found that out, and she sued Sony because of that, because she never even agreed to any of that. That wasn't in a contract apparently.
Hey, Pedro,
apart from that little incident, I've seen, well, thanks to Pedro, I've seen some of the debug mode, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
What else is in the debug mode?
Oh, the debug mode, trust me, Jovah, playing around with the free camera, you will find all sorts of weird, hilarious shit.
It'll be highly amusing.
Well, it sounds like we'll soon have a commentary for that as well.
It's going to be a long part, though, because there's a lot to show. But,
yeah. Goody. That reminds me, though. Pedro, remember that funny thing you shared on the SSMB where it turns out that David Cage actually had the real Ellen Page actually dressed up in her quote-unquote sexy outfit?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet she loved that.
Yeah, basically, Pedro showed a picture of... Apparently, Ellen Page actually did at some point dress up in the sexy outfit.
And the interesting thing is that she still looks sexier than she does in the game.
It's one thing I don't wonder. Why did she dress up in that, though? I thought they didn't really need those sort of clothes for the motion capture.
I'm guessing it was for the sake of she's serving as a model for the animators, or the rendering artists.
So that means at some point she actually dressed up like Goth Jodie. Oh, man.
All right, so this is the chapter. So this is one of the most infamous chapters of the Dinner with Clayton one, where Jodie takes yet again another complete 180 as a character.
And apparently she can't pour a bottle of wine.
Okay, so here's cool shirt. Here's sexy shirt, which actually does look sexy in the concept art.
Yeah.
So what the hell happened? How do you go from this to the I mean, the decut, like the decut there helps make it sexy. Like what the fuck happened? Like was David Cage just like no decut, no possible cleavage. We need to be. We need to be respectful. This is not about sex. It's about emotion.
And yet he shows her naked and in a bra.
3D naked model of Ellen Page.
So let me get this straight. David Cage is the same man who gave us a naked model of Ellen Page, several shots of her in a bra.
Hey, Jovah, let's not forget Madison Page and her introductory chapter.
Yeah, Madison Page too. Not to mention in Fahrenheit, we had what's his name? Shoot, I can't even remember the protagonist's name.
Lucas.
That's how forget. Yeah, Lucas's girlfriend. I'm pretty sure had some cleavage.
No. We never see her naked because when they're having sex, we're only looking at Lucas's ass. We do, however, see
her naked. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure that we saw her cleavage at several points.
No, we don't.
Jovah, don't forget that this is the man who essentially sat down with Ellen Page and said, "Here, I made a scrapbook of loads of images of you.
Yeah, you're confusing.
Be in my game."
Jovah, you're confusing Tiffany.
And not to mention, during this chat... Oh, wait, not this chapter.
Anyway, like I was saying, God,
well,
no, I'm the one drawing a blank.
Girl that eventually becomes his girlfriend.
For some reason, I'm drawing a blank. Whatever. Oh, shit. What was the name of the... Hold on. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank. I think it's... Alright, anyway, more concept art. Dragon's Hideout, aka the chapter where David Cage officially threw his hands in the air and just whatever. Let's just do whatever. You still there, Shiroi?
Yes.
Okay, Jovah dropped.
Oh. Anyway.
Anyway, the concept art is still going. Oh, well, it's not missing much anyway. Meanwhile,
A lot of it is good concept art.
Yeah, meanwhile, I have to check. There you go, Carla. For some reason, I was forgetting it. Okay, so like I was trying to say, Jovah, you're confusing Tiffany with Carla. Tiffany.
I know, but Carla does eventually become his girlfriend and wife later. That's what I meant.
Yeah, we do see Carla's boobs, but that's.
I mean, come on, let's be fair. Carla's the real love interest.
It's interesting because Tiffany and Lucas had a lot more actually had chemistry, whereas
and yet they axed Tiffany off at the last minute just so Carla could be the love interest.
Because why not?
Which is weird. We even had a whole gameplay sequence where we could actually help.
It's interesting because all 3 games of the Sadness trilogy have forced romances. What is up with David Cage and forced romances? What?
Nathan's face in that concept art looked weird.
David Cage is one creepy man.
He is.
And yet somehow his creepiness is what convinced Ellen Page to actually participate in this game.
She should have run a mile.
Here we are in the, oh yeah, the apocalypse?
You know, the ending cutscene.
I know, but seriously, that's what it was? The actual apocalypse?
I don't know. I didn't write this.
Well, that's just sad.
So here's Tuesday. And Alaska Jody, even though... Wait, no, this is Bum Alaska. Homeless Alaska. No, what am I talking about? That was homeless, or was
Black
it...
Sun? When did Jody have a hat on?
I don't even know what this game... Okay, hold on. Jody Alaska. She was never in Alaska, okay?
Maybe, wait.
Okay, wait. Actual...
Maybe it's referring to, like, the ending, like, before you pick... like when you pick the living ending. I think when she's in a cabin and whatnot, maybe that was
Hold on, Jovah.
To me, and it was really a shocking experience.
Here's the man.
I wanted to
He's
tell
talking,
a different
so.
story and not talk about death the usual way, I would say, but really deal with death as a physical reality and that can be explained.
Objection! You actually didn't even go there. What you made it was
Wait,
that
emotion.
So each time we
See?
What you made it was that...
The guy actually has... sorry, Joe, I have to bring that up. The guy actually has the word emotion trapped in the wall of his company in big, giant letters.
Oh,
Where was I? Ah, yes. Objection! But, Your Honor, Mr. Cage here says that he's trying to make it so that life and death aren't that physical. The problem is that he made it blatantly... Okay, he basically made it right down to the bare bone physical, to the point where life and death are literally 2 different worlds.
I love how Ellen Page is having difficulty trying to defend, trying to explain why this is good. Like, the concept is huge, and there's a lot of action scenes going on.
This could make for another.
Writing Beyond was a journey by itself.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Is he referencing Journey?
No. He means.
I know, Pedro. Joke.
And how they approached me.
If you have to explain a joke, then it isn't a joke.
Well, I didn't get it. Sorry.
To shoot.
It was strange because it felt so foreign to me, because it sort of felt like jumping off a cliff a little bit. Maybe
Oh,
that's
you kind
just
of were
what I
jumping
did.
off
I
a
just
cliff
sort
in
of
several of the
jumped
scenes,
off.
Miss Page.
Exciting, it was exciting.
Oh,
in the sense that
here's the
it
guy
was
who played
unusual.
Brian.
It was
Yeah.
so unusual.
I have no idea who Eric Winter
I
is.
got the call and I was
Yeah.
beside myself.
They're
The project is someone's
they're Hollywood
baby.
actors, but
So
they're
much
not
time,
that well known.
so
They're
much
more like
heart into
indie
it,
actors,
to
if
really see it.
I remember
And
correctly.
this is such a
They're indie
developed
film actors, if I
story.
remember
This is
correctly.
gonna make you feel
Okay.
Hollywood actors in a video game.
That's what Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe were here for, to sell the game, basically.
I guess it can work in sometimes.
Sorry guys,
I wonder how much he was getting paid to say all those wonderful things about it.
I feel grateful that I
Oh, I love this. She says, "Oh, we won't make a protagonist with big boobs and carrying around a gun." Oh, gee, you mean like the female protagonist in Indigo Prophecy?
They shoot.
Not to mention Bayonetta is a game about a big boob chick with guns, and I love that game.
shockingly alive. emotion.
Bayonetta is
You
awesome.
just don't stop.
I will be
I
buying
kinda-
it.
Go and go and go.
You know, I can't really stand people who always say that only the females with big boobs and, whatnot are the actual strong female characters. It's like, you know what I mean? I can understand maybe if it were happening too much, but come on, it's got to happen at some points. I mean, just because it is someone with big boobs doesn't necessarily mean it has to
Well,
be
Jovah, for
sexualized.
someone like if you look at something like anime, that is largely the case.
Well, yeah.
So I think people who would watch a lot of anime would probably have that mindset. I mean, I actually said this the other day. You'll usually find that the strongest female characters in anime have big boobs.
Yeah.
I understand that. It's just I can't really stand when people say that, a
It's a
character
trope,
can't.
essentially. It's a
Yeah.
trope.
What I can't stand though is like when people will say that a character can't have big boobs and be a strong character. Like, well,
But because they're so
the sort of people who sort of get
Can
the
I
wrong
direct
idea.
those
About,
people to Sailor Moon, please?
really brings
Can I?
something
Can I?
that you didn't
yeah.
ahead.
The pleasure for me as an actor.
It's like
is
I
not
can't stand
interpreting
people who say that
something.
women with not big boobs are more likely to be good characters. It's like
Well endowed.
Hey, wait, guys. According to Willem, David is pretty inspiring and awesome to work for. According to
of course he's inspiring. It basically gives you a good idea of how you should not end up.
Unbelievable respect
Yeah,
for what
that's
he's
true.
doing, and just for whatever reason, totally just trust him.
which is why you
It's
later
like
went.
Clement
Which
said
is
that
which
Sonic
is
06 should be presented in
Wow,
classes. How
I
not
love
to
the
make videos.
irony. I love the irony. Ellen Page is talking about trusting him. Gee, what happened a few months later? Oh, yeah, debug mode and the nude scene, and
yeah.
it came to the point where she actually sued David Cage.
Well, not David Cage, Sony.
Wait. I know.
She
I
didn't
said that
sue,
she
she didn't
sued
sue
Sony
David. She didn't sue David directly. She sued Sony, the company.
I didn't say that she sued David. I said that she sued Sony because of David Cage.
Anyway, graphic cards because
Well,
again-
because of what he did, anyway.
Amount of work on setting character design.
Yeah, that's
Because
pretty.
every
So yeah,
single
this
detail
is this is
crucial to
where the
tell
most
this
of the
engrossing
effort
story.
went into the
The sets and
graphics.
characters are very diverse.
Because,
From the
polygons.
perspective of a
I guess you could say that some effort went into the acting. The problem is that all the wrong sort of effort went into
You
it.
know, the looks on these people's faces are more of run down rather than thinking.
It's a really huge Bible describing all the locations,
Bible.
the characters, and
I guess you could say that it's tiring working for a man who is obsessed with polygons. I mean, can you imagine how it would be like if you were that man's graphics team?
Can you imagine what these people say about him when they're not around him?
It's interesting because that reminds me of the behind. Have you guys ever seen the behind the scenes stuff for Star Wars: The Phantom Menace Episode 1?
No.
Oh, I think I did.
Even Red Letter Media brought that up in his review. When you see the actual, because basically there's a documentary of Phantom Menace, it basically documents full uncut and, footage of the behind the scenes stuff. And when you see George around his crew, people look scared around George. They laugh at his bad jokes, and sometimes you get looks of distrust and confusion while he's saying his stupidity.
It's like, yeah, you're not right for this job, are you?
So as to really recognize their faces.
Like for example, I love the like for example, there was some really funny moments in the behind the scenes stuff of Phantom Menace where they're watching the raw cut of the movie, before it goes to post production, right? And then George is all like,
I guess you're right, Pedro. They did have him. I guess you're right, Pedro. They did actually have him dress up in the outfit for modeling.
Okay.
To work on the character emotion,
exactly, like I said.
really linger
Anyway,
over the expression, the eyes, the mouth.
basically they're watching the raw cut before it goes into post production, and then George is all like, "I may have gone a little too far in a few places." You think? And then Ben Burtt. In case you don't know, Ben Burtt is one of the greatest sound effects designer of all time. He was even the voice of Wall-E in Pixar's Wall-E, but. He even went on and say, Ben Burtt actually turns to George and he actually starts explaining pacing to him and why 4 different scenes with completely different emotional tones don't work together. And he's all like, and this is an actual quote by him. In a span of 2 minutes, you go from escape, to comedic with Jar Jar, to lamenting the death of a lost friend, and then he kind of realizes he's wasting his time, so he kind of stops talking.
Oh man!
Trust me. If you actually watch that documentary with a critical mind, you can. It's kind of hilarious. It's better than the actual movie, honestly. Anyway, back to Beyond Two Souls.
Am I the only one who notices that with the graphics, they seem to talk, more about the effort put into backgrounds and, the emotions of the characters as opposed to the characters themselves?
Well, but that's the thing, Jovah. It's not the graphics people to take care of that. It's David Cage's. That's David Cage's job.
But you should trust your graphics team to, be able to do their own thing as opposed to instructing them that hardly. See, this is, I think this goes back to the problem I had with when the graphics started to take a bit of a downturn.
That's the thing. But that's the thing, Joe. The way Quantic Dream works is basically everybody in this company is working to serve David Cage. They're not. This is not a collective effort. This is just David Cage telling people what to do, basically.
Yeah.
Unlike in a company like Level 5, because again in the behind the scenes stuff for Kuni, Hino himself says that he likes to battle for his ideas, so he likes his employees to be frank.
Exactly. And you see, and also this is going into back. I noticed that they were talking about actually animating the tears. This is the main problem. It's like focusing on emotion is one thing, but remember it's a video game. It's like if you pour so much into the emotion of, just looking at the emotions and nothing else, you lose sight. I mean, heck, that's why Beyond Two Souls tends to look rather, I hate to say it, but crappy in graphics at times.
I think the graphics work just fine for what they're I mean, it's the writing and the characters that really are the game's downfall.
Pedro. One says that, it sort of happens in glimpses at times, but they really stand out when the graphics at times, look rather one-dimensional and flat and rather solid in their colors a bit too much. Granted that is a bit of a nitpick, but it shows that there are kinks in the armor that David Cage is trying to meld here.
Well, the PS4, he's now making a PS4 game, so maybe he will eventually master the art of realistic graphics, maybe? Because the PS4 is really...
What I'm saying is that there are plenty of other companies who are still managing to actually do better graphics.
But I would agree with you, Joe. I still think Last of Us looks better than this game.
Last of Us, Bioshock Infinite, Transformers...
Well, Bioshock is a little more cartoony in its art design. I'm talking about realistic-looking graphics.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, there was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5. Though I still think Last of Us looks better than that. But then again, it's different, because Last of Us is a linear game, so it's much easier for them to make the graphics better, whereas Grand Theft Auto is an open sandbox game, so it's a different beast.
Naughty Dog know what they're doing when it comes to their linear games.
Oh, no. Naughty Dog has always known how to push the PlayStation consoles to every drop. I mean, remember how brilliantly animated the characters in the Jak and Daxter series were, and that was were PS2 games.
Right? Yes. Yes, Quantic Dream. You totally pushed the limits of the PS3. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like other companies actually managed to pull off weather and whatnot.
And even Uncharted 1. I mean, when Uncharted 1 first came out in 2007 for the PS3, it looked better than any other game of its type of graphic style that I ever seen. I mean, yeah, of course, if you look at it now, it looks a little dated, but then again, it was 2007. You kind of expect, but for the time, it looks fantastic.
This comes to my main point. It's like, yes, the graphics look, I guess you could say good, but not standard for this time. I mean, this was like in 2013, near the time of the birth of the PS4. At this point, companies are pretty much getting an idea of how to handle even real-life graphics pretty well. But compared to them, this game, I hate to say it, is handled rather poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's my problem. It's like, well, sure, it may not... Sure, it looks good, but compared to, the norm of PS3 games at this time, it doesn't hold well.
All right, so these are. Anyway, now that his rant is over, they're explaining the graphics of the ghosts and shit.
In the beginning, we thought about something quite marine, but with an aquatic creature, it was almost too real. So we changed our
But
idea
didn't you
towards
still
something more
didn't you
polluted,
still
more
use
dark.
fish-like designs anyway?
Don't really have defined shapes, but
Well,
Objection! They did use fish-like characters. I recall in our commentary, we even commentated on how they looked like fish everywhere.
We just looked at one actually.
Plausible aesthetic way of
So
representing
yeah,
lives
what the
beyond.
heck?
Souls disintegrating and taking shape
I-
again.
Do they really think that the people who play this game have brain damage or something?
I think even the graphics people just want to get this over with so they can move on to possibly something better, even though they know it won't be.
Well, knowing what just came out yesterday, how much you want to bet that right after this, they went straight to work on that remastering of Indigo Prophecy?
Actually, Jovah, the remaster of Indigo Prophecy wasn't done by Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream only supervised it. It was done by a developer called Asper, which is a developer that specializes in porting games to PC.
That's weird.
Well, the Quantic Dream is busy developing their PS4.
granted.
They're busy developing their
That's-
PS4 game and almost certainly remastering Beyond. So there wouldn't be a way to possibly do a third game at the same
Do you
time.
think they'd remaster Heavy Rain?
Eventually they will, sure.
Granted, that does make sense, that especially Quantic Dream being a Sony first party at the time.
Every second of movement you see in Beyond is motion capture, ranging from simple in-game motions.
See, here's an interesting thing about the motion capture. Naughty Dog was, of course, one of the big pioneers in motion capture back when the PS. Actually, no, Indigo Prophecy was, but when it comes to the I like to compare. I'd like to take a moment to talk about the difference between the motion capture in Quantic Dream and the motion capture in Naughty Dog, for example. When Naughty Dog does Uncharted or even The Last of Us, here's an interesting thing that they say. They never do facial capture. You know why? Because they like to animate the facial movements themselves because they think it always because they want to enhance the emotions of the characters themselves, but it's much easier for them to do it that way. Whereas in here,
They actually had a little girl actually play the role of Jodie. That's interesting.
which is sad because she's actually one of the better actors in the movie. the game, actually. Sorry.
Hopefully this won't muck up her acting future career.
I'm sure it won't.
That reminds me, though, to do another comparison, let's compare this to LA Noire, which actually did go the full mile and actually use,
facial capture.
Yes, did use facial capture. It did it in a bit of a different way. They sort of did several takes to actually see which worked out well, and in some cases where they actually couldn't get it right, down to, the right thing, then they actually would just animate it differently. The thing that differs between this and that is, well, with LA Noire, they sort of let the actors actually, play out the scene in their own mind and actually let them freelance it a bit at times, which works out a lot, because, a lot of the times there's close-ups because in LA Noire there's interrogation scenes. I also do like how, they sort of went the full mile to give almost every single character, and sometimes even the NPCs, their own facial motion capture.
It's like
Granted, a lot of money did go into it, so yeah, it was very expensive, but yeah, I think that sort of worked out for it. Whereas with Beyond Two Souls, yeah, there's not nearly as much effort put in, and it feels like they did almost every single facial motion capture in one take at times.
I love how when Ellen Page is describing the plot, she only describes what happens. She doesn't actually explain why this is a good work. She just, she's basically trying to bullshit away for the interview, so that because even she clearly knows that this is not good.
Basically, she's saying what's already common knowledge about motion capture.
Bare and essential. But also, it's sort of disturbing sometimes.
That can actually be taken out of context and used to describe Beyond Two Souls.
So, Shiori, what's your take on the acting from what you see here?
So they had to use cardboard pizza.
Well, considering who they're having to work with, I wouldn't say it was great.
Yeah.
Weird though. I thought that usually with motion capture you often use real food.
No, not really, because that way it's they use the thing is, Jovah, it's much easier to use props because that way they can mocap the props, Whereas you might have noticed, remember when we're eating at the table in the Navajo chapter, if you go back and watch that, you will notice that every time someone puts something in their mouth, they immediately cut so that they don't have to show it.
Another thing LA Noire did better, actually.
So it's just easier
eating.
to not eat the food.
Oh, come on.
It's like everyone also kind of does the same thing with pants, like, because if there's any graphics artist in gaming will tell you one of the hardest things to render in a video game is pants. You know, the actual flow movement of pants when you pick them up and shit like that. So which is why in Heavy Rain, when there's a moment where Ethan is putting on his pants, the camera moves away from that, so we don't have to show the extremely stiff pants animation. And stuff like
I guess
that.
LA Noire sort of had the advantage that, it was sort of done in like the 1960s or something, like where, where basically most people would wear dress pants, so that sort of gave them an advantage.
They rely on each other. We couldn't get this performance without performance capture, and it wouldn't be worth getting unless it was from these people. It's a really great mix.
I beg to differ on that.
She looks like she's about to vomit rather than...
Alright, so what's next? More concept art, I think?
Oh,
the gameplay! Hey guys, let's take a look at the quote-unquote gameplay of Beyond Two Souls.
Oh goody, I can't wait to rip this one apart. So let's see, we've cross-examined the, we've taken a look at the motion capture and the graphics, and what was the first thing we looked at?
Emotion at their core. Is that why we had naked shower scenes in every one of them? Anyway.
When I write my script, I have an idea.
David, this is supposed to be about gameplay.
So wait a minute. When you write a script, you have an idea. Well, I mean, imagine how it would be if you didn't have an idea. I mean, wow, really? You have an idea?
Objection! David Cage is talking more about actual writing as opposed to gameplay.
Don't worry, they're gonna get into that now.
So we created a very discrete user interface with only white dots on screen and very simple controls.
That sounds like what you'd have in a DVD
We wanted
menu.
to revisit the action system and go for something that would be more invisible and more
Basically, they're trying to go for
intuitive to
as
the
much
player. We
cinematic
didn't
effect as
play
possible to make sure.
We wanted the player to focus on what
I
is
know,
doing on screen
I know.
and not how to do it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost Trick did this before. Let's just go with that.
He did it on a Nintendo DS, and it still did it better. Heck, the animation in Ghost Trick was better.
Depending on the context, depending on your emotions.
And no, I'm actually not just nitpicking there. The animation was done a lot more smoothly and actually done better on that
And
game.
most importantly, to give the player the
one thing about
I love this one.
He can do almost anything he wants to do.
Yeah, which is why the game is incredibly scripted. Fuck
Interact
you.
with objects.
But yeah, another thing about Beyond Two Souls animation...
I'm sorry, but even compared to 06, this is probably the most scripted game I've ever witnessed.
06 is not so much scripted, it's more like buggy. Like the only really scripted parts of 06, well, I mean the Sonic stages anyway, are the loops. Not so much like Silver stages don't really have any scripting. Not that I
Well,
remember.
as I said, like one of the most scripted games that
Oh,
I
definitely, yeah. This
personally-
is without a doubt the most scripted video game ever created. At least I've never heard of anyone.
Wanted to have
Oh, I love this one. You see, Shiroi, we're going to make the gameplay as shallow as possible. We're actually going out of our way to make sure that there is absolutely no depth to what you're doing.
Oh,
Is that
this
because you want to leave all the depth and emotion to the cutscenes?
Hey guys, did you just hear that? You remember how in one of the previous videos they said about how they moved away from the ideas of the ghosts being fish? Well, here they actually state literally that they're trying to make it like the ghosts are fish swimming underwater.
Yeah.
So yeah, even the special...
watch people playing and you
Wow,
see where
fantastic
they
communication this company
Maybe
has.
David told them something off camera. Maybe it's like, no, I don't want that. I want this. Tell them this.
I'm here in my head canon. All of these people secretly hate David Cage, so they're basically just they say what they need to do in these extras videos, and then as soon as the camera, as soon as the director says cut, they yell, okay, so now where's my paycheck?
You know, part of me wonders if actually people actually did think this, so they were so confused. That would actually explain why this game feels all over the place at times. It's like nobody.
Actually, Jovah, the reason this game is over the... Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to check out the only one cool thing David Cage has ever done.
Oh no.
Well, to be fair, aside from the craziness of Indigo Prophecy...
No, okay, fine, allow me to rephrase. The only one objectively good piece of entertainment that he's... All around good piece of entertainment he's ever made.
Before people say Heavy Rain...
Jovah, have you ever seen this video? Because I have.
Okay, so the following
I
footage
don't
is running.
think I have.
So this is running in real time on the PlayStation 3. Basically, this was a graphics test before Beyond.
This should be interesting.
And it is quite possibly the greatest thing David Cage has ever done.
It is.
Like, genuinely.
Alright, anyway, so...
Apparently it has that actress from Twilight in it.
It has? I'll check.
Yeah.
Hold on. Alright, let's try to...
Let's let Jovah pay attention.
Yeah, let's just pay attention so we can check it out.
Oh yeah, I have seen this video. It's sort of like AI, but actually done better.
Pretty much, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
ID.
KPC 897504C.
Can you move your head? Your eyes.
Is David Cage referencing that part in Indigo Prophecy where we played as a robot during the tutorial?
Maybe.
And optical animation.
Well, then again, we did find out that pretty much all the characters in his games are robots that he controls remotely.
I can look after your
You see, he should do more stuff like this because when he actually genuinely tries to create an artificial life form, it works out very well.
Yeah, come to think of it, with an artificial life form, he would actually have more of an excuse for why his characters act the way they do. Because they're robots with a glitch. That would actually be an interesting plot point.
Now, that would be a cop-out in David Cage's case.
Yeah, a cop-out being the one sensible thing to do in his case. Ouch.
Now, can you move your arms?
Though she's probably gonna be naked, knowing David Cage.
Actually, no, they don't show anything.
Now say something in German.
This video only goes on for a few minutes.
Ich bin ein AX400 Android dritter Generation, erschaffen als Ihr persönlicher Assistent und intimer Beziehungspartner.
Say it in French.
By the way, the actress is actually speaking in all these languages.
Really?
Yeah. So, you looked up the actress yet?
I have, yeah. Valerie Curry. Yeah, she's from Twilight. This one, I'll look it up. I kind of doubt that she's the one singing this.
Multilingual verbal expression checked. Go ahead, take a few steps.
Oh, okay, they actually got a separate actress to sing that Japanese song. Thought so.
Still, it's amazing that she could do all those
There
languages.
we go!
You're ready for work, honey.
True, but they're not showing anything. I mean, and to be fair, it does make sense that she's naked in this part. So.
I'll reinitialize it and send you to
True.
the store to be sold.
Sold? I'm a sort of merchandise. Is that right?
Yeah, of course you're merchandise, baby. I mean, you're a computer with arms and legs and capable of doing all sorts of things.
Pretty much like almost all the characters in David Cage's games. Only this one actually thinks.
What did you think?
I thought I was alive.
Shit, what is this crap?
Okay, so here's my headcanon. This is David Cage. Oh my god, a character that actually might be interesting. Quick, destroy it! Destroy it!
And check the required components.
That actually would make sense when you think about it. Come to think of it, how cool would it be if David Cage actually made a plot where the characters actually rebel against his writing?
No, I feel perfectly fine, I assure you.
No, you're actually kind of interesting. We can't have that. You need to be destroyed.
Please, I'm begging you, please don't disassemble me.
Sorry.
That would actually explain why almost every character is a moron. Though, wouldn't this mean that Jaden is one of the few rogue robots then?
I'll do everything
I guess.
I won't say another word. I won't think anymore. But I've only just been born. You can't kill me yet.
Huh, so this is how David Cage got Ellen Page to turn in such a wooden performance then.
Honestly, though,
Hmm?
I expect I suspect that if David Cage were to expand on this, it would ruin it completely.
Oh, definitely.
I think we should just enjoy this, even though we probably like a full thing out of this.
David can't write anything. David cannot write decently for more than 5 minutes. So.
But this actually has potential, and it can
Jovah,
can't write decently for more than 5 minutes.
Jovah, it's David Cage.
But we'd be playing as a robot. Jovah, I mean, if it's a robot, you can actually have some things that. Oh, right,
wait,
David
wait,
Cage.
David, if you're watching this, just make animated shorts only. Just make that your career. You'd actually get somewhere, and people would like it.
I'm actually surprised that he didn't make a video game concept out of this. I mean, think of it. I mean, this is the sort of thing that would actually give him so much excuse to actually.
But Jovah, what about it? But Jovah, what about his personal Ellen Page porn?
Well, I don't think he's getting any more of that after Beyond Two Souls.
I mean, look at this. It's beautifully animated. The acting is top notch, and it's
actually
very well written.
It even has a touching concept: a robot who actually has fire. I mean, yes, that concept's been done to death, but this is what actually seems to be done
this
rather
one seems
uniquely.
to take it to a whole new emotional level.
I can actually imagine the gameplay that could actually be sculpted out of this. And yeah, that last line seems to suggest that whoever was speaking to her has just realized that they may have created life. You'd think David Cage would actually work with a concept like that.
I will create life from a lifeless form.
I'm actually surprised David Cage hasn't made a plot about that, considering how pretentious he is.
Well, he has made a plot about that. We're just not expanding on it.
Yes.
Well, he did say in his PS4 game he will have additional writers this time. So hopefully the dialogue. So hopefully, I mean, the plot will probably still suck, but at the very least, the dialogue will probably be better.
He's actually getting writers.
No, he's still the lead writer. He has additional writers, but he's still pretty much the main guy.
Oh, I know that, but I'm still surprised. He's actually getting fellow writers. It's like, what convinced him?
I'm guessing it's because like for example, when it comes to Heavy Rain, it was a long script. But like his games always have a long script, and by the time we got to Beyond is 2,000 pages long. The script, I mean. So
not to mention, didn't get as much positive reception as Heavy Rain did.
His games keep getting bigger and bigger scripts. So I'm guessing by the time he got to the PS4 game, he was all like, "Oh shit, I need to get some help because I'm not going to be able to write this and not die."
David Cage, in terms of his writing, as we've just seen, he seems to be able to work with something more short and sweet.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe.
Well, he also, as we'll see when we get to the extras part of Heavy Rain, there's also a short that was made before Heavy Rain, and that short is okay. It's nowhere near as good as Kara. But before you guys get your hopes up, no, it's nowhere near as good as Kara. It's okay. It works.
Hopefully, it's not like the Dark Sorcerer.
No. The Dark Sorcerer is honestly, the Dark Sorcerer had one good joke, but they milked it so hard for 12 minutes that this joke became kind of annoying rather than funny.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But anywho, fellow audience and co-commentators, that was Beyond Two Souls.
Indeed.
We had a surprisingly high point ending with that awesome clip from Kara.
It was a bittersweet ending because it's great, but we'll nowhere never see anything that good from him again.
And I think that we've established that Quantic Dream as a company is very disconnected considering how many times they contradicted each other.
Indeed. All right, everybody, see you.
See ya.
Bye. Well, I can't believe we're back here yet again. Welcome to our extra part of Beyond Two Souls, made in the year 2015.
Yeah.
We're a bit late, sorry.
Basically, everybody, we're commenting on what is technically a teaser trailer for Quantic Dream's PS4 game, as just revealed.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely this is just a late recording. No, the last part was a late recording, and yes, it turns out I freaking called this being made into a full game.
All right, let's actually let Flips listen. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
You may recognize her from Twilight.
Yeah, she's an actress from Twilight.
Yes.
ID.
KPC 897504C.
Can you move your head?
Yes.
Your eyes now.
This supports my theory that everyone in every David Cage game is a robot.
Cervical and optical animation checked. Now give me your initialization text.
Hello. I'm a third-generation AX400 android. I can look after your house, do the cooking, mind the kids. I organize your appointments. I speak 300 languages, and I am entirely at your disposal as a sexual partner. No need to feed me or recharge me. I'm equipped with a quantum
Well,
battery
hey,
that makes me
it is a
autonomous
David
for
Cage game,
173
Dwibs.
years.
Yep.
Do you want to give me a name?
Yeah. From now on, your name is Kara.
My name is Kara.
Initialization and memorization checked. Now, can you move your arms?
Yeah, this is reminding me a lot of Ex Machina.
Upper limb connection checked. Now say something in German.
Ich bin ein AX400 Android dritter Generation, erschaffen als Ihr persönlicher Assistent und intimer Beziehungspartner.
Say it in French.
Je suis un androïde de troisième génération AX400, conçu pour être votre assistante personnelle et votre partenaire intime.
Okay.
Yes.
Now sing something in Japanese.
What?
Oh, hi, Hatsune Miku.
Of course, when you say it in Japanese, you think, hang on, I thought David Cage doesn't acknowledge Japan.
Good, good. Now say something in British. Any British language will do.
Say it in Welsh. Yeah, I'm done.
Multilingual verbal expression checked. Go ahead, take a few steps.
And she falls apart. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Is this supposed to be a,
Yeah, you'll see there's the one.
Right.
Locomotion checked. Great, you're ready for work, honey.
Oh boy.
What's going to happen to me now?
I'll reinitialize you and send you to a store to be sold.
Sold? I'm a sort of merchandise. Is that right?
Yeah, of course you're merchandise, baby. I mean, you're a computer with arms and legs and capable of doing all sorts of things. And you're worth a fortune.
Oh, I see. I thought...
You thought? What did you think?
You know thinking is not allowed here at Quantum Dream.
I was alive.
Shit, what is this crap? That's not part of the protocol. More memory components going off the rails. Okay, recording.
Ha! You know, the making of a David Cage game is a lot more gruesome than I thought.
You're disassembling me, but why?
You're not supposed to think that sort of stuff. You're not supposed to think at all, period. You must have a defective piece or a software problem somewhere.
No, I feel perfectly fine, I assure you. Everything is all right. I answered all the tests correctly, didn't I?
Yeah, but your behavior is non-standard.
Please, I'm begging you, please don't disassemble me.
I'm sorry, honey, but defective models have to be eliminated. That's my job. If a client comes back with a complaint, I'm gonna have some explaining to do.
I won't cause any problems, I promise. I'll do everything I'm asked to. I won't say another word. I won't think anymore. But I've only just been born. You can't kill me yet. Stop, will you please stop? I'm scared.
I want to live.
Well, too bad.
I'm begging you.
Oh, could you say no to that, Base Twibs?
Actually, oh my god, actual genuine emotion in a David Cage script. It's a bit...
Yeah.
And coming from a robot, how ironic.
Like I said, all the characters in his games are androids, and the ones who go against their programming are nearly killed like Carl was here.
So I guess Alex Garland has a lot to owe to David Cage for Ex Machina, I guess.
When did Ex Machina come out?
This year.
Huh. Yeah.
Go and join the others.
Oh.
Stay in line, okay? I don't want any trouble.
Thanks.
So basically, the game supposedly starts after this short.
Right.
It's interesting.
I mean, it's very similar to AI, because anyone who's seen AI will, of course, tell that there was also a similar thing with, you know, if the robot is glitchy, you have to bring it back and tear it apart and stuff. And here we go, written in Valerie Curry. I don't know who she is. Is that from
She's from Twilight, remember?
Oh yeah, Twilight. The operator, whoever this guy,
Kirtley.
whoever he is,
come back into the story.
Probably
written and directed by David Cage.
I still can't believe he actually made something that good.
So Liz, what are your
It's only
thoughts?
7 minutes.
So Liz, what are your thoughts on this 7-minute short?
You know, it's bad that a 7-minute short thing is the best thing David Cage has ever made.
I know, right? And now he's gonna turn it into a full-blown game. How does that make you feel?
I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. You see.
Wait.
You guys have to admit, with David Cage, there's never a dull moment. You have to admit.
I swear to God, I mean, of all the
your-
things for him to announce, I honestly wasn't expecting Kara of all things.
Never a dull moment with David. Never.
I loved your reactions. As soon as they announced David Cage.
Yeah.
And Kara. Jesus! Just as soon as
Like
I was starting
like I said,
to, you know,
not care. He makes you care
yeah,
again.
just as soon as I was starting to not care, boom! He pulls out something that I actually called. Not only that, but
which of course, well, everybody, don't worry about it. I will obviously be buying this game day one, and I will be, of course, recording it for the channel, as I always do with Quantic Dream.
Yeah. All right. See you.
See you guys.
Yeah.